Hello everybody, welcome to another AGS Solutions episode. In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve derivatives by using the quotient rule. Let's start by writing down the quotient rule right here. d over dy is going to be f of x over g of x is equals to f prime of x times g of x minus f of x times g prime of x, okay? All this over g of x squared. All right. So the quotient rule is a rule for differentiating problems where one function is divided by another. Right. Before we start with our first example, let's classify each of the terms. For example, f of x with u and g of x with b. I'm doing this just to make it easier for you guys. That way you don't have to use the same term twice, like f of x or g of x twice. Let's do the same thing with the rest. F prime of x is going to be u prime, g of x is b, f of x is u, and g prime of x is b prime. Same thing with this one on the bottom, g of x is b, right? Now we're ready to start our first example. Let's do our first example right here. Let's do this. Y is equals to 2x squared minus 1 over x, right? So let's identify our terms. So the first one on the top is going to be u, and the one on the bottom is going to be b, right? Right, before to start plug the numbers into the formula, let's get the derivatives of each of the terms right on the side, right? Let's get for example first u prime. So u prime, which is this term right here, 2x squared, we have to use the power rule. So this one is going to be 2 times 2 is 4x, and this number right here is a constant number. So every time you see a number by itself is a constant number, so which is equals to 0. We don't have to add it. All right, you want to know about a little bit more about constant numbers and the power rule, you can see my first video, which is about the power rule, and I did some examples with constant numbers that might help you to improve your skills with constant numbers and the power rule. All right, let's keep going. Let's get the derivative of the second term, which is b prime, which is going to be equals to derivative of x is equals to 1. So now we got the derivatives. Let's plug them into the formula. dy over dx is equals to u prime, which is 4x, times u of x, which is x, minus f of x, which is 2x squared minus 1, right, times u prime, which is u prime is going to be equals to 1, right? All this divided by x squared, right? So let's simplify things. dy over dx, which is equals to 4x times x is equals to 4x squared. Let's solve whatever is inside the parentheses first. So 2x squared times 1 is going to be 2x squared, minus 1 times 1 is equals to 1, right? All these over x squared. Let's keep going. Simplifying things, equals to 4x squared. So let's distribute the negative sign inside the parentheses, which is negative times positive is negative. 2x squared, negative times negative is equals to positive, so plus 1. All this over x squared, and this is our answer. All right, let's do another example, number 2. All right, let's do this one. Is equals to sine of x minus cosine of x. all this over 3x squared. Like we did in the last example, let's identify our terms, u and b. Let's get the derivatives of the first term, which is u prime, which is going to be derivative of sine of x is cosine of x, and the derivative of cosine of x is negative sine of x, but we have negative sign in front. So negative times negative is equals to positive, so therefore is positive sine of x. Let's get the second derivative, b prime, which is going to be equals to 6x, and that's it. We have our derivatives. Let's plug them into the formula. All right. Let's start right here. dy over dx, which is equals to u prime, which is going to be cosine of x plus sine of x, right? Times u of x. Times b, which is going to be our 3x squared. Or 3x squared, right? And then minus our u term, which is going to be minus our sine of x minus cosine of x, right? Times the derivative of b, which is b prime, which is 6x, right? All these over b squared, which in this case is 3x squared. All right, now we got it. Let's simplify things. So dy over dx. So let's take care of this term first. We're gonna multiply 3 times cosine of x, which is going to be equals to 3x squared cosine of x plus 3x squared sine of x, right? Then minus, let's take care of whatever is inside the parentheses first. So 6x times sine of x, which is going to be 6x sine of x minus 6x cosine of x, right? And then all these over 3x squared, right? Let's keep going. dy over dx. Let's simplify whatever we can. Let's distribute the negative sign into the parentheses. So 3x squared cosine of x plus 3x squared sine of x. Negative times positive is negative 6x sine of x, right? Negative times negative is positive 6x cosine of x, and all these over 3x squared. Let's simplify things. So we can factor out the 3x squared in this first term. So let's do it. 3x squared times cosine of x plus sine of x, right? Minus, we can factor out the 6x. So let's factor out 6x times sine of x plus cosine of x. There you go. All these over 3x squared. And this is our answer. Let's do one more example, number 3. Right. Let's do this one. Y is equals to tangent x plus 10x squared plus 1 all over sine of x. Right. Same thing we've been doing. Start u term. This is our p term, right? Let's get the derivatives on the side. U prime is equals to, so derivative of tangent is equals to secant square x plus 10x squared, which is the derivative of 10x squared is plus 20x. And like I said before, this is just a number by itself, which is considered as a constant number, which is 0, right? So let's get derivative of the second term, which is b prime. The derivative of sine of x is cosine of x, right? Now we're ready to plug in our values into the formula. So dy over dx is equals to u prime, which is going to be secant square x plus 20x, right? Times our v value, which is sine of x, minus our f of x, which is our u, which is tangent x plus 10x squared plus 1, right? Times our b prime, which is in this case is cosine of x, right? We have it right over here, right? All these over our v squared, which is going to be sine of x squared, right? Let's simplify things. F(x), which is equals to, let's take care of this term first. Let's multiply sine of x times secant square x, which is going to be sine of x secant square of x, and then let's multiply the second one, which is sine of x times 20x, which is going to be equals to 20x sine of x minus, and let's take care of whatever is inside the parentheses first of this second term, which is cosine of x times tangent x, which is going to be cosine of x tangent x plus 10x squared cosine of x, and let's put it right here on the bottom, plus cosine of x, all these in parentheses, and divided by sine of x squared. All right, let's keep going and simplify things, which is equals to we can factor out sine of x in this first term. So sine of x times secant square of x plus 20x, right? And then in our second term, we can factor out, we're gonna distribute the negative sign at the end, so we can let's distribute now. Let's distribute the negative sign now. So negative times positive, which is negative cosine of x, and tangent x. Negative times positive is negative 10 x squared cosine of x. Negative times positive is equals to negative cosine of x, right? All these over sine of x squared. So dy over dx is equals to, the first term stays the same, secant squared x plus 20x. The second term, we can factor out cosine of x from the second term. So so which is going to be negative cosine of x times tangent x, right, plus 10x² plus 1, right? And that's it. We have all these over sine of x squared. And that's it, guys. This is our answer right here.